Following the Sportsman, we'll see 2 heat races for the 4-cylinder Bomber A division. Put on a whale of a show here last week, and most of them are back and are ready to do it again for you here tonight. So Bomber A's, be at the ready. You'll be up right after this Sportsman heat race. Here we go, folks. First bit of racing action coming at you in turn number 4. Richard Fiore, Donovan Ponder on the front row. Green flag is out, and the outside lane's going to get the jump. Ponder on the outside gets the lead. They're 3 wide going down through the dirt as Sean Fitzgerald gets used up by Robinson in turn number 1. Fitzgerald says, I don't want any of that smoke. He's going to drift it towards the back here after he gets caught by surprise by a very aggressive Robinson there in car number 50. Bryce Robinson coming in the back of the field already fighting for the 4th position. Boy, they went into turn number 1 like they were coming to the checkered flag, and thankfully they all come out without the need of a wrecker. Donovan Ponder, last year's champion, picking up where he left off. He's leading. Dylan LeBeau, the 88, up to 2nd, and Rodney Haddock. Robinson, and now here comes Matthew Green out of the back of the pack. Green in the 44 starting to roll his way up towards the front. Fiore, the pole sitter, drifting towards the back. Here comes the 66, Chase Simons, in his brand new Sportsman car. We'll follow his pseudo teammate, if you will, Andy Nichols, up through the pack. That Burkhalter prepared 66, parked right up there next to Chase Simons' 66. Big lead for Donovan Ponder in the white blue number 8 car. Got some fast cars coming from the back of the field. Robinson, Green, white and orange, all over the back of Rodney Haddock. Here's Robinson swinging it down low. Robinson looks down the inside for Rodney Haddock. Can't get the position away as of yet, but going to get a run here down the back straightaway. Rodney Haddock's number 31, showing the horsepower down the back. And here comes Matthew Green, going to go down the bottom. Green in the orange car from the back of the field. He wants 4th away from Robinson. Matthew Green in the 44, always a contender out here in New Smyrna. He's up to 4th, and Robinson not going away, though, in car number 50. Robinson dives low and gets into Matthew Green. Whoa, Green gets it locked up, and he's going to scrape the rear of that car along the concrete. And Robinson all torn up on the snout. Yellow is out with 2 laps to go, and Matthew Green's not going to be happy about that. And wouldn't you know it, the 44 and 50 are pit partners, ladies and gentlemen. They're parked right next to each other up in turns 3 and 4 by the grandstands over there. Matthew Green did a whale of a job to get that car woed up and just gently scrape along the outside wall. Team going to look at it. We can't get the best visual from our angle up here, but it appears he did not destroy that machine by any means. Robinson tried to cross it back over to the inside lane, and the way they were all piled on top of one another, there just was not enough room. I'm going to go pick up some debris reported in turns 3 and 4. As you see, the Bomber A starting to get lined up for their first of 2 heats. On the inside, on his outside will be Dylan LeBeau in that 88 machine. Now, here we go. You see the inside lane a little bit longer than the other. That was the cars that were involved in the incident on the tail of the longest line there. So green flag is out, and Dylan LeBeau getting the jump. Ponder did not get going very well there, and LeBeau's going to have the lead down into turn number 1, but Ponder getting it wound back up. He's going to try to take it back here. It's a little tight off turn number 2, though. Ponder in the 8, last year's champion, works the bottom of the racetrack on the 88, Dylan LeBeau. And now Ponder with the nose back out in front of the line. Matthew Green trying to work his way back up into contention. Watch that orange 44 car to the back of the field. This time by the white flag. White flag is out, 1 lap to go. Final lap here for Donovan Ponder, in control of this one. In second, it's LeBeau. Andy Nichols up into the 3rd position. Rodney Haddock 4th, and Chase Simons rounding out the top 5 as they come off the 4th corner. They will come to the checkered flag. Donovan Ponder will win it. 2nd to LeBeau. 3rd to Andy Nichols. And Haddock And Chase Simon's the top 5. Matthew Green has to settle for 6th. And we'll be watching the stopwatch here. Under 24 is no-no. You can go 24.000, but you can't run a 23.999 or under. So they'll be racing each other and the stopwatch here tonight. And that is to keep these drivers from getting these cars too far out of control and also to keep them safe. They were getting a little bit too tricky and quickie a couple of years ago, so they've dialed them back this way with the electronic timing and scoring. Here we go. Green flag is out for heat number 1 in the inside lane, getting the jump. The Eagle, Eddie Evans Jr., that red car gets the shove all the way back up alongside the 2. And they're going to call that one off. They're going to call that start off. Yellow going to come out. All right, so we are going to rack them up, try this once again. After that start was less than stellar.
All right, coming to green, 11. Here's the machine. Come on, roll it up. Get up bumper to bumper. Okay, starts coming in. We're going green.
Vincent Cortez in the RV Boondockers, number 23, brings him down to the green. This one looks a little bit better. Now we're racing down into turn number 1. Eddie Evans Jr., that red number 11, had a good start but fades off corner number 2. Here comes car number 2 now, Steven Davila, trying to fill that gap now. Aaron Foy, last year's champion, slots into the 4th spot. Vincent Cortez, spin! The rookies tangle together. Harold Wagenbaugh slides down the track, gets into Zechariah, who's got the front of his car hanging off. Some heavy damage to the right front of the 16. Zechariah will be joining us up here in the booth next week. Hoping he doesn't get a head start on that foray. After that little bit of contact with Tara there in turn 4. 99 just tipped it around and caught the front end of Zechariah there. All right, so we'll get ready to try this again. Daytona Dodge American Auto pace car ready to peel off the speedway once again. Vincent Cortez and Eddie Evans Jr. bring us down for, hopefully, the actual start this time. Eddie Evans Jr. got the initial jump, got a little bump, and now back to second. Where they are stacking them up in turns 3. Eddie Evans Jr. sails it around the high side, but pushes way, way, way too high. Jr. in the wall. And he may have a right front tire down. Eddie Evans Jr. let it sail too high, and the rookie gets into the wall, and that'll bring out the caution. And we'll check and see if that lap's going to count. Well, lap does count, I'm told. So the first lap is finally in the books. But boy, we're having a tough time getting this one going. Eddie Evans Jr. this time. Another rookie contender having issues. Well, that car just sailed off into turn number 3 and eventually ran out of racetrack right at the end of turn 4 there. Caught the wall pretty good, and now that team will have some damage to work on before the main event. Nobody's broke out yet, that's for sure. Right front tire is down on the 11. I thought I saw that as he was coming at us here. I don't know if he's got anybody. Yeah, he's got the team ready to go. They were just in my blind spot up here. Well, they'll go to work, try to get the right front sneaker changed on the Eddie Evans Jr. machine. His dad, Eddie Evans Sr., ready to roll in heat number 2. Give them a couple laps here to get that tire changed. They look like a professional NASCAR crew. They are slinging tires around and almost record speed for a bomber pit stop. Would sign them up for tomorrow in Las Vegas, would you? Because they only got to do one lug nut there on Sunday. Look at that. Well done by the team. Oh, no! Something else is broke on that car. Eddie, you're not going to go too far, my friend. That was almost real bad. Oh, and here comes Vincent Cortez down pit road now. A true race of survival here as they choose. 16's out, 11's out. Now the 23's got problems. Might take a lap here. See if they're going to work on the 23. Yellow's got to come back out. We got to give Vincent time to... He's going behind the wall, though. Vincent Cortez, the window net down. It appears his heat race is out of steam. 1 lap complete and half the field has been eliminated. 7 laps or whoever's left. Here they come. Stephen Davila now finds himself with a race lead, and he almost bounces off Aaron Foy. Let's go 3 wide on the restart. Why not? Who wants to win this one? Stephen Davila and Aaron Foy going to duke it out side by side down the back. Give it to the yellow number 7, Aaron Foy with a lead. Davila going to fight back on the bottom of the racetrack. Foy will lead lap number 2. Aaron Foy already flirting with the 24-second rule that is in effect for the top 3 cars. So the way we saw the end of the feature go last week, the 99 sitting in a good spot. Aaron Foy running the upper groove of the racetrack, keeping that car wound up. And he'll lead the next lap here and a 24-102. Boy, the pace picking up here at the front. I like Aaron's strategy, though. Run the high side of the racetrack. That makes the track longer. In theory, that takes more time, right? But does that make the car faster with that high side momentum? Coming to halfway this time by. 4 down, 4 to go. Stephen Brown, last week's winner, just ran a 24.087. He's back in 3rd, but he's the fastest car on track. Foy, Davila, and Brown, the top 3 as they bring it to lap number 5. Stephen Brown, he went even faster that time, 24.069. The leaders are lowing up the pace a little bit, and Brown's trying to reel him in. Cat and mouse to the front. Davila looking low for the race lead here in turn number 4. Popsicle sticks, 2 to go. Boy gasses it back up. Stephen Brown a little bit faster that time yet. 24.043, but still in the good. If they do break out on the last lap, they'll go to the tail of the lead lap. Now, oh, Davila's off the pace with 2 car. He's got a problem. White flag set to fly. We'll see if the 2 can hang on here. White flag is out for Aaron Foy. And they have backed the pace way down. How about a 27 for Stephen Davila? He's not in danger of breaking out this time. Aaron Foy can coast it from here. And a wild and wacky bomber heat race. I have no words for this one other than Aaron Foy is going to come off the corner. He's not going to break out, I do not believe. Checkers are out as he coasted the line at a 25-second there. Stephen Brown second. Stephen Davila is going to hang on with a wounded number 2 machine for the 3rd position. And Tara Wagenbaugh, who was involved in that first incident, going to bring it on around for a solid 4th place run. And Tara finishes up there in the 99. So again, in 3rd, Stephen Davila in car number 2. Our next time out, the pace car will leave the field in the hands of Tyler Vickery's number 24 machine. So we got Jeff Gordon out there. We got Dale Earnhardt Sr. out there. Mike Austin could paint his car like Terry Labonte. It'd feel just like the 90s. That one almost looks like an old Rick Mast car. And the 14, I don't know what they're doing with all the pink there, but it stands out nonetheless. Here we go. Set for 8 laps here. Bomber A heat number 2. And Dustin Higdon goes down to the bottom. Not surprised to see this move. So Dustin Higdon in the 14. Caught Tyler Vickery, the rookie, napping. But how about Obremski in the 1, trying to make something happen now. Preston shoots out with a lead, and look at him pull away down the back straightaway. Wonder if somebody told him about the 24-second rule or not. Mike Austin, whoa! Dustin Higdon gets into the 1 there. No, he's not going to break out now. He almost broke. And Dustin Higdon takes the lead, and Preston trying to go back at him in turn number 1. And even down the back straightaway here. Keep your eye on the 14 and the 1. I don't think Preston liked that too much. He did not. Oh! And now we're brake checking each other on lap 2 of the heat race. And they're calling the 14 and the 1 to the pits. They're done. They're going to screw around with race control today. A 14 and a 1 called to the pits for unnecessary roughness, if you will. Flag on the play. Mike Austin is your leader in car 5. Boy, the Bomber A's are ornery today. So the 14 and the 1 to pit road. Penalties for unnecessary roughness. I don't know if it's done yet. Mike Austin leads. They will deal with the naughty ones in timeout here. During, maybe even after, and who knows for how long. Put him in the rear for the feature 2. Battle is for second. Eddie Evans in the 3. And Dale Earnhardt battling Jeff Gordon. Oh, Dale Earnhardt's off the pace. Oh, nobody's left in this one. Mike Austin leads it. Come on. Oh, right front tire's flat. It runs in the family, apparently. Right front tire's flat on Eddie Evans Sr. They might have to go get the tire off of Junior's car if it's still holding air after that crazy shenanigans on pit road. So down to 2. Mike Austin in the 5 and Tyler Vickery, the rookie, in the 24. Terry Labonte and Jeff Gordon. With 5 laps complete, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this pair of Bomber heat races. And the 1 is driven back to his pit. The 14 is sitting at the crossover gate. Those two playing games on the back straightaway on lap 2 of the heat race, and race control put a kibosh on that with 2 to go here. Eddie Evans is staying out there on a right front tire flat. Eddie, you're not going to finish worse than 3rd at this point, buddy. You might as well bring it in. He's down on the apron. I think he realizes it now. Probably thought the car just wasn't handling very good because they missed the setup. But the problem is they missed the air pressure. And we're coming to the white flag. And we got a battle for the lead heating up. Mike Austin, Tyler Vickery. Who's it going to be? Mike Austin in the Saturn. I'm sorry. Austin in the Neon, Vickery in the Saturn. This race is just so out of this world, I can't think straight. Here we go. Checkers are out at the line. It'll be Mike Austin picking up the win. So I'm sure that's going to go over like a fart in church for all the officials. That race was like one of those. And Mike Austin said, hey, what's going on over here? Anyways, 3rd place, Eddie Evans in the 3. 2nd goes to Tyler Vickery, best run in his career. And put your hands together for Mike Austin in the 5. He got to win that one. And we're getting reports. Car number 1 is parked for the night. We're going over to another competitor during a race. So that is a way to make your night go even worse. Car number 1 done for the night. So that's done. Car number 1 not going to be allowed to run the feature with the antics today. And let's see if we get a little more semblance of a race with the 602 modifieds that are scheduled to come up next. Got a pair of heat races to go. 602's up next, followed by the E-Mods. The 602 modified division will be rolling out here in just a moment as they clear the gates. Green flag set to fly this time by. 602 mod sat on pit road watching those bomber heat races, and I think they're ready to put on a good race for you here. John Hatton 88 on the bottom, Christopher Hatton Jr. on the outside. Here they come. Green flag is out for the 602. They storm down into turn number 1. Christopher Hatton, the Generac car on the outside, trying to find some bite up there. Took it a moment to come to him, and there he goes down the back straightaway with the lead. So Hansen in the 51 dances around on the back straightaway, locks it up going into the corner. Something dumping out of that car. 51 car with a cloud of smoke. There's a yellow, is out for mechanical issues on the 51 of Hansen. Trying to get him to go to the bottom of the racetrack and not put stuff down all around the groove of the racetrack. So maybe it wasn't a spin that he had in practice. Maybe it was mechanical, because that car did come into the upper pit area on the flatbed. And I just wonder if it was mechanical, because those gremlins have apparently cropped back up again. Thought maybe he locked up the brakes, but apparently fluid pouring out of that car. Power steering issues, we're told, on car 51. If they find anything, they'll get it cleaned up. We'll get it back going. Feels like he's going to get a good launch up off the corner. Carter Blue, last year's Rookie of the Year. Definitely won't miss that one. I think he borrowed some paint from Aaron Foy over the offseason. Here we go. Getting ready for the restart. 7 laps to go here in the 602 heat race. Green flag back out and getting the jump is John Hatton on the bottom, but he does not keep it going. And he gets pushed all the way down the front straightaway by the purple people eater in the 06. John Hatton now falls to the back of the field. This has been a bizarre round of heat races. .09 car, Christopher Hatton Jr. away the lead. Last year's champion, Hank Baker Jr. The Black Knight up to the 2nd spot. Nowhere there. This is the car he won the championship with. Team brought a new Bullet out to the World Series and got knocked around a little bit, so they got Old Faithful back out and ready to go for the season opener. Sands decals on the left side. Former champion Christopher Hatton Jr. in control of this one. Hank Baker Jr. and the two's got company. Here comes Chris Hatton Sr. now, the purple 06. We're looking at the high side now here on the main straight. Hatton a groove up, trying to get that car to turn center of the corner off, and it just won't hang with him. Carter Blue from the back up to 4th. Battle for 5th between Newman and Hatton there. Battle for 2nd now off to number 4. Chris Hatton Sr. is going to take it away from last year. Father-son run 1-2 with 3 to go. Chris Hatton Jr. with a lead, but Chris Hatton Sr. with what looks like, to the naked eye here, the fastest car. Battle for 3rd, heating up as Carter Blue gets into the mix as well. Blue in the 18, looking at the outside with 2 to go. Carter Blue in the 18, way on the high side there, not able to get the grip off the 2nd corner to get alongside the 2. He's going to send it back into turn number 3. White flag is out, 1 to go. Christopher Hatton Sr. in the purple 06 has a rocket ship, but doesn't he have enough time to get by his son? He's going to try here in turn number 3. He's going to look low. Here we go for the win. Senior on the bottom, Junior on the outside, and Chris Hatton Jr. will hold him off the line. Senior is 2nd. 3rd will go to last year's champion, Hank Baker Jr. Carter Blue 4th. 5th will go to Greg Newman, and rounding out the field, John Hatton in the Silver Bullet 88 car. Good little run there for the 602 modifieds for a quick autograph session right after this race. So Pro Late Model drivers, to your vehicles, please. Pro Late Models, to your vehicles. We're going to stage you on the front straightaway immediately after this race. Pro Lates, we need you ready to go so we can keep the show rolling. Pro Late Model drivers, to your cars. Let's go E-Mod racing. Field is set. Pace cars ready to pull off. Dylan Salen, Bruce Packer on the front row. Good to see that 15 car back out here. Green flag is out and run away. Inside lane gets the jump. Now look at Carson May. jumps to the outside of Dylan Sale for the lead in turn 1. Bruce Packer does not get going. That's going to stack up the second half of the field. They're 3 wide at the back as Kurt Robinson tries to get out of harm's way. Here comes the front runners. Ken Copley from last to 5th in a couple of corners. How about that? Dylan Sale will lead lap number 1. Bruce Packer did not get a good start. Oh, Ken Copley about got Max Wheeler in turn 1. Copley's front end took off with him, and now it's a 4-car breakaway as Carson May around the high side of the race lead. May in the 10, doing it the hard way here, but he's got the point. 2 different packs of cars, and they are all racing hard right now. The Tomahawk, Dalton Simons trying to take the runner-up spot away from Dylan Sale, last year's Rookie of the Year. 2 sophomore drivers, 3 sophomore contenders up there ahead of Max Wheeler, the rookie. The back half of the field has me nervous right now. Menninga and Dayton battling for position as Carson May begins to pull away in car number 10. Oh, trouble off turn number 2. Around goes Dale Howard. Howard and Say tangle to bring out the caution. Coming to halfway, so 3 laps complete. Caution is out. That'll stack the field back up. Dale Howard, the veteran racer, trying to get his car fired back up. So if Howard has to come to pit for service, he'll go to the rear. If he's able to continue on his own, there he is in the yellow car. 45 says, hey, that was my fault. We just got stacked up, race and deal. And he'll drop to the rear. They were pretty much back there anyway, so not going to hurt him too bad. Carson May, your race leader. He's on the outside groove here. Last year's Rookie of the Year, Dylan Sale. A sophomore driver now down on the inside. Max Wheeler, Dalton Simons in row number 2 as the field comes back up to full song here. Green flag. Back in the air for Emard. In the 15, not getting very good starts. Really holding up that second half of the pack. Takes him a couple of corners to get going. He still struggles as Sale is sideways on the back straightaway. And here comes Simons up the outside in the 14. This time by 4 laps complete. Bruce Packer this time gets shuffled to the back end of the field as, whoa, Dylan Sale comes across the front bumper of Max Wheeler. Oh, and Ken Copley going to bounce it off the concrete in turn 2. Menninga's off the pace of the back of the field. For now, we stay green. Lap 5 will be complete this time. Whoa, the 90, whoa, look out. 45 going around. 93 had a problem there. And around goes who is that? The 45 has gone around as Menninga brings the 16 to pit road. It looks like the 93, I don't know if he locked it up or if he had something come out of that car. But Michael Say found what it was and went for a spin. So we're going to check the racetrack. And now 5 laps complete. And we're lucky we didn't wad up 3 or 4 cars right there. Three laps to go. Your leader is Carson May on the outside. Dalton Simons, a 14 down on the bottom. Here they come. Whoa, Simons. You might have found a little bit of that wet stuff there. It's swirling. We are back underway. May on the outside with the jump. Here's Max Wheeler, that red 98 car, around the outside for the runner-up position. Mad Max with a great restart up to P2 behind Carson May. Whoa, boy. Carson May letting the tail hang out. Still might be able to slick down there. 2 laps to go. May in the 10, Wheeler in the 98. Copley loses the nose again in turn 1 in the orange car. Here comes Dylan Sale, the big loser on that restart. Carson May 10 going to run up a little bit higher, but oh, he throws it sideways again, coming to the white flag. That car might just be loose, but everybody else looks okay. Wheeler trying to steal it here on the final lap of the 98. Battle for 4th behind the top 3. Sale and Copley doing battle. Carson May trying to hold on for the win. Max Wheeler in the 98 right behind him as May throws it sideways again. Coming to the checkers, May wins it. Wheeler is second. And Coming home in third is Simons. Tim Copley hangs on to fourth. Dylan Sale going to round out the top 5. And at this time, I'm going to pass things over to our preacher today, Mr. Pat Gagnon, who is going to present today's invocation. Pat, take it away.
Let's pray. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for your love for us, and we love you back. We pray that you would be with all of the racers tonight, their crews, the safety teams, and the fans, and provide us all with a safe environment. May you be glorified in all that's said and done tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And the other number 16, please, if you will, let's have a nice round of applause for Nick Snyder, driving the RCS Prepare number 16 tonight. To our front row, if you will, have a nice round of applause for our outside pole sitter in car number 5, Chad Rutherford. And rolling off from the pole after the invert today in the other Hisco Pump South number 9, let's hear it for Matt Montanari. Ladies and gentlemen, there's your starting field. We had a couple other cars that wanted to be on the grid. They did not make it through practice today, but the field is set. And New Smyrna Speedway, if you're ready to go racing, let me hear you one more time. Get nice and loud. And now drivers, if you will, on the count of 3, we'll give you the most famous words in all of racing. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Drivers, start your engines. 12 cars hoping to make the green tonight, 10 able to make the call after a rough and tumble practice session for a few. The rest of them are set and ready. The catch the way, Pro Lay Model 60, ready off turn number 4. Matt Montanari does not get going on the inside, and Chad Rutherford gets the jump. We'll see if they let that one stand, as the pole sitter was not coming up to speed there. For now, we stay under the green, and Chad Rutherford gets the launch. And watch Brad May in the 8 car tonight. New number on the machine for Bobby Sears Racing. He got held up behind, wouldn't you know it, car number 9, Chad Rutherford, or Matt Montanari. Rutherford leads. Here comes Sozio. May's thinking 3 wide, but thinking better of it. It's only lap 2. Rutherford leads by a car length now over the 16 of Sozio. The 9, Matt Montanari, coming up to speed now as he battles the next time number 16. Rutherford leading, but here comes Tim Sozio, and here comes Brad May. He's going to dive to the bottom of Matt Montanari's number 9 off turn number 2. Top 3 trying to scoot away. Dylan Williams looking a little bit better here in race trim than he did in qualifying. He holds on to the third spot for now. Brad May battles to the inside for the 5th spot. It's a battle for the lead. Heats up in turn 1 and 2. Here comes the 16, the white one, Tim Sozio, not able to make the pass. And I'm telling you, if you've got a good car, you better get out in front quick, because that 8 car will come and take your lunch money. For now, Brad May is stuck in a battle with Matt Montanari's black number 9 as Sozio is all over the back bumper of the 5 of Chad Rutherford. May to the inside of Matt Montanari again off 2. That is the battle for 5th behind the top 4. Then they're trying to put some distance on the rest of this field. Nick Snyder's getting raced now. The 16 drops the wheel to the inside. The pole's back in line as Brad May clears to the top 5. Man, there was low air pressure, bottoming out a little bit in the corner. He shot up the track in turn 1 that time. 5 complete for car 5. Chad Rutherford, who leads over Tim Sozio and Dylan Williams. And at the top 8 cars, still all together here down the main straightaway. Chad Rutherford in the 5, trying to get the bad luck monkey off his back. Right now he shows, oh, trouble! Contact with the 16, look out! Everybody's going to thread the needle and get through. Brad May able to get the 8 car woed up, but shades of speed weeks for Brad May as he had cars all over the place. The battle for 3rd comes unglued as Snyder and Williams tangle. Bring out the first yellow flag of the day with 6 laps complete. Brad May did a good job. The brakes definitely up to par on the Bobby Sears Racing car. 6 laps complete as Dylan Williams brings the 0-1 machine. Boy, he was running well too. Didn't qualify all that great, but up into 3rd and battling there with Nick Snyder. Snyder in the RCS Prepare number 16 car, the black one there. Had to come around with him, and Williams went too. No damage on those cars, as Snyder did not even come down to the pits. And if they don't get where they're supposed to be, they'll take those positions away from them after the fact. 01 and 16 got a drop to the tail, the longest line since they were involved in the caution, and they're not listening. And yellow going to come back out since the drivers don't want to listen to race control. No start. So again, the 01 and the black 16 have to go to the rear of the longest line. They were involved in the caution. They do not get to choose. That is the reason the restart was called off. So Williams and Snyder have to go to the end of the longest line. That'll be the inside group. See if they get the memo here. Snyder going to bring it back down pit road. May have been a blessing in disguise there for the 16. He still got some issues there on that car. Ripping something off the front end of car 16. It's very appetizing to go up there and try to get those spots. Believe me, when you're behind the wheel and you see space, you want to take it. But those cars in the caution do not choose, and the inside lane ended up being the longest, so they'll be back there. Here we go, set for the restart. And green flag is back out. Rutherford getting a pretty good jump in car number 5. Chad Rutherford in the 5. Here's Sozio and May. Those are the big dogs you got to worry about here this evening. Rutherford doing a good job. Oh, look out! Hard into the wall. It's Tumanello. Tumanello goes into turn number 3 and wallops the wall a ton. And boy, they just got that one fixed up and ready to go this evening at the last moment last night to get him out of here for practice. And boy, oh boy, did he hit a ton in turn 3. That car snapped around. There's nothing he could do but hold on. That car looked wicked loose in qualifying. I don't know if something broke or a tire went down, but Eugene Tumanello is a very good race car driver. That was not something that he would just lose control of in that particular instance. So, safety team over to check on the driver now. Driver's going to stop here and go red. The red flag out so we can make sure that Tumanello is good and the safety team has room to work over there. And safety team over to check on Eugene Tumanello, and red flag out to allow plenty of room to work to get car 35 off the speedway. And when we have word from turns 3 and 4, we will let you know. Red flag is out with 6 laps complete. So the 16 of the 0-1 still under that tail of the longest line penalty, if you will. Chad Rutherford will also fit that bill if he's able to make it back out. But we are set to go back green flag racing here this time by. Tough break for Chad Rutherford. The bad luck monkey continues to bite that team. Here we go, back to green in the catch the way 60. For the top spot, Tim Sozio flies around the outside, and here comes Chad Rutherford. He'll make it back out. He'll be eligible to get the lucky dog here and get back in this one. Brad May hunting for the lead as Tim Sozio shows away on lap 7. Rutherford comes back out in the 5. He's 1 lap down to the leaders. His time did run out there. They give him at least 3 laps. And Rutherford back in the race. He'll be eligible for the lucky dog if we are able to get another yellow flag. Sozio leads it, May in second. Matt Montanari third. How about Palmer Hagen to 55 at the back of the field for the start. Now here's the 16 looking to his inside as they battle for 4th. Rutherford back to the pits. Battle for the lead. It's May on the bottom. Sozio on the outside. Sozio in the preferred groove here with the Pro Late models. That high sun place to be. Brad May led that lap, becomes the third leader of the race. Sozio goes a little bit too high, and Brad May comes clear to the lead. Nick Snyder in the 16 out of the back of the field. He's got a good piece tonight. He's up to the 4th position. And he's back down the lead. Top 5 cars all together here down the back straightaway. It's May, Sozio, Montanari, Snyder, and Haig, the top 5. 11 laps complete, starting to get some more laps in the books here. Brad May and Tim Sozio out ahead of Matt Montanari, the pole sitter. Nick Snyder came from the tail of the longest line penalty, back up into the top 5 already in just 6 laps. Track position not on his side right now, but he's got a very fast race car. One of the fastest cars on the track right now is car number 16, Nick Snyder. That's the back 16. Brad May leads it. Sozio is second. Back out in car number 5. It'll be several laps down at this point. And you never know. We've seen some wild stuff already this evening. If it's going to be a war of attrition kind of night, he could still pick up positions. At least learn what's ailing that machine and get him back up to speed for the next one. Rutherford really starting to get the experience and the confidence out here. He just needs to get the bad luck out of his way as he rolls slowly down the back, I think, to let the leaders go, and that's exactly the case as he comes back up to speed. $16 complete for the 8 of Brad May, who leads the 16 of Tim Sozio. Got him by about 2 car lengths now as Matt Montanari has solidified that 3rd position at a Nick Snyder's number 16 car. A bit of a green flag rhythm here as they come to lap number 19. Man, in control, just riding right now. He's on cruise control. Tim Sozio not really able to reel him in, but not losing touch either. Brad May, the fast qualifier, right back into his comfort zone after a very rough World Series here in February. Had to bring the backup cars out before the beginning of the season. Snyder now starting to lose touch with the lead 3. Brad May leading Sozio and Matt Montanari, a surprise entry today. Stephen Redditt. Redditt still on the lead lap. After his runner-up in points to Jason Bale. He is not in attendance tonight, saving his car for the wrap next weekend. .32, Tim Laurent off the pace here down the front straightaway. Could be our next casualty on this wild and crazy night as Brad May going to catch the tail of the field, put Stephen Redditt a lap down. We'll put the 32 a lap down by default here as they roar by on the back. Watching the 32 machine, Tim Lorentz going to struggle today. That car a little bit off the pace and now just shy of the halfway point. Rides the apron of the Speedway and makes it to pit road, so we stay green. Top three really starting to break away from the rest of the field. Laurent brings it to pit road. 27 laps will be complete this time for Brad Mann. 32 laps to go here for Brad Mann, car number 8. He is under no threat for the race lead right now. Battle though starting to heat up for second. The 9 to Matt Montanari, a good run down the back straightaway. Really starting to draw B now on Sozio. Montanari, another good launch off turn number 2. He is on the back bumper at Tim Sozio now. As they will come to the crossed flags. We'll be halfway home this time by 30 laps to go. That's away, 60-30 to go. Brad May in control of this one, starting to pull away from Sozio. Sozio, a good 4 or 5 car lengths, maybe more back now at this point. Montanari closing. He wants second away. Thirty-two laps complete this time as Chad Rutherford brings car 5 back to the pit. .32 Tim Laurent out of the race. Brad May still well in control at lap number 33. The battle is for the second spot. Matt Montanari starting to put the pressure on Tim Sozio. Sozio slowly starting to reel Brad May back in a little bit, but knowing Brad May, he might just be saving the good of those Hoosier tires just in case we get a late race restart. Sometimes you'll see Brad May in a long green run. He'll back up to the car behind him just a little bit and pull the hammer down with about 10 to go, 5 to go, something like that. Looks like Tim Sozio is starting to struggle with the handle of his race car right now. Got pretty good speed, but not really getting off the corner. A little bit of a twitch there as he gets back on the gas. Montanari pokes nose down on the inside of the racetrack. Battle for second heats up here off turn 4. Montanari, the black number 9, works his way to the inside of the 16 of Tim Sozio. And now as they battle, Brad May begins to scoot away once again. How about car number 9, Matt Montanari? He takes over the runner-up spot from Tim Sozio in a good move. Closing in on 20 laps to go. Does the 9 have anything for the 8? A lot of ground to make up here, but making that pass to second is the hardest part here. And Matt Montanari is starting to pull away from Tim Sozio. The runner-up in the red eye beginning to fade back just a bit now. At the line, 21 laps to go for Brad Mann. Palmer Hag 55, the leading rookie in the race, rounding out the top 5. Darren Williams on the other car in the lead lap at this point. 3 drivers out. Eugene Ciminello crash. 32 Tim Laurent mechanical. And the 5 of Chad Rutherford back at his pit stall with mechanical gremlins as well. Don't sleep on that black number 9, Matt Montanari. Trying to close the gap just a little bit as he pulls away from Tim Sozio. Nick Snyder, the 16, a little bit tail happy off the corner. Montanari trying to close the gap. Veteran racer in the 9, closing in on the veteran racer in the 8. Montanari last out here in a 602 modified in the World Series. Will he play spoiler tonight to Brad May's number 8 with 18 to go? Steven ready to head for the leaders. He'll stay down on the bottom, which is the slow groove. The car did drift up just a hair there. And here comes Matt Montanari in the 9. Montanari clears lap traffic and goes to work on Brad May, who's right there. 4 car lengths ahead, down the back straightaway. Matt Montanari, the pole sitter, did not get a good start. It actually held up Brad May at the beginning of the race. Those two drivers have worked their way back to the class of the field. It'll be 15 laps to go next time by. Here comes Brad May in the 8 car to the line. 15 laps to go in the Catch the Wave 60. Matt Montanari find the speed to make up those 3, 4, 5 car lengths. Can he work by the mayor of the Speedway, Brad May? He's closing in to a couple of car lengths now. He might have a good car to get this done. We'll find out. Back half of the top 5 work around the Stephen Reddit 84 car. May in the 8, Montanari in the 9. Class of the field right now as the laps continue to click away. And Montanari closes in the corners, loses about a half car length on the straight. Chess match over the final handful of circuits here. Matt Montanari in car number 9. That black machine is hounding Brad May. May can feel him in his mirror. He knows that the car length's going to have 2 car lengths behind. This time by 11 laps to go. Montanari closes the gap once again. Montanari not as good a 1 and 2 that time. Going to lose a car length down the back. He's a little bit better on this end of the speedway though. Let's see if he can make it up. Brad May a little wiggle there as they come to 10 to go. Battle heating up for 4th. Nick Snyder might have burnt up the tires in the 16. Here comes Palmer Hegg, the rookie. Nick trying to make something happen now in the 55. Might get a spot before this one is all said and done. Montanari still 2 car lengths off the race leader. It'll be 9 to go this time for the 8. Lead holding steady at 2 car lengths. Lap traffic ahead. That's the Dylan Williams 0-1 they may have to deal with before it's all said and done. 8 to go for Brad May in the 8 car. Montanari up on the wheel trying to make something drastic happen here. Another lap closer to checkers. Montanari digging hard. Is he running out of time though? Is he overdriving? Is he underdriving? Has he got anything left? What's the story going to be here as they come to 6 to go this time? 54 laps complete. Good lap that time for Brad May. He took another car length on him. Traffic ahead. Dylan Williams right out the windshield of Brad May now. Less than half the straightaway ahead as they go into turn 3. They are going to have to deal with Williams. We'll see if Williams pulls down and lets him go, or if he can make one. 5 laps to go for Brad May. Now heating up for 4th as well behind the leaders. Palmer Hagg looks to the inside of Snyder in turns 1 and 2. Williams shows the sportsmanship, gets down out of the way, lets the leaders settle it. May continues to hang on the lead, 4 laps to go. Snyder with a bobble. Here comes Pommerhag for fourth net on the main straightaway. Pommerhag, the rookie driver, wants that spot. Former champion of the Sportsman class. And away to fourth goes Pommerhag. Back up front. May continues to lead by a car length and a half as they come to 3 laps to go. Montanari, a good lap that time. May goes up the racetrack half with groove. Montanari able to dip his nose down, get some clean air on the front fender there. And he is half a car length behind. Battle for the win in the Catch the Wave 60. Heating up here as they come to 2 laps to go. 1 mile remains for the leader, Brad May. Matt Montanari throws it down into turn 1, trying to make something happen here. Montanari did not get off turn number 2 very well. Might have overdrove turn number 1 that time. But he's got to make something happen because time is running out. Only half a mile remains as the white flag comes out for Brad May. Montanari going to ship it down into turn number 1, hoping it'll stick. He's half a car length behind. He pulls to the back bumper. Here we go, down the back straightaway for the final time. Can he make something happen? May in control, Montanari there. A little bobble. He gasses up to the bumper. He gets him loose, coming to the checkers. It'll be Brad May by half a car length. Matt Montanari raced him hard but clean and comes up just short of the checkers. A nice run and nice finish for the Pro Late Models as Brad May wins a good one here tonight. You know, the 9 of Matt Montanari could see him, he could feel him, but he didn't go in there and turn him off turn number 4 as Brad May gets yet another win here at the new Smyrna Speedway. And there he is, folks. Brad May, your Catch the Wave 60 Pro Late Model winner. Brad May in car number 8. You're trying to throw a curveball to the field. And, boy, it was almost car number 9 who got you coming to the line. But congratulations on the big win tonight.
Yeah, once he got into second, I knew that new GMS car was going to be good at the end.
1, 2. Here we go. Come over this way. It works a little bit better over here.
No, I was saying the new GMS car I knew would be really good on a long run. I was hoping we would be also. I was running really hard trying to stay ahead of the 16. Once they started messing around, I thought maybe I can check out and get away from them, but they were calling off him running the 9 running a lot faster than me, so I tried to pick it up, run it as hard as I could, and did everything I could.
Well, it definitely was exciting there at the end. And tell everybody about car number 8. I think you threw some people for a curveball today.
Yeah, Bobby Sears has been my forever car owner, and I got this car. I was going to do some renting and let some other people run the car, so I didn't want it to be the same number as me, so I changed it to number 8. Then we crashed our number 9 during Speed Week, so I thought I'll break this out, see if I can learn a couple things with it, get it ready to rent out.
Well, this is the best way to get it ready to rent. Somebody's going to want to come take it away from you now.
Hey, they're welcome to. We work really hard, make fast race cars. Bobby Sears is in rehab right now. He had back surgery, broke his back before Speed Week, so this is for him. We wanted to really get a win tonight, be able to call him up, cheer him up, get him a little more energized.
Well, speaking of Speed Weeks, this has got to feel good after how tough Speed Weeks was for you.
Yeah, we needed to make a comeback, get the car back out here, get back doing what we do, winning races, having some fun.
It's always good to see you here in Victory Lane. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Brad May, your race winner in the Catch the Wave Pro Late Model 60. And to deliver the trophies, a couple of special guests will deliver the trophy to Brad May for the pictures tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, he's back in Victory Lane. Brad May, your winner. We also have the 50-50 bag. Thank you very much. We'll have our second place finisher, Matt Montanari, draw that. We'll speak with him in just a second. Well, Matt, good to see you back out here in a Pro Late Model. And, boy, another lap or two you might have had him, but a great run for you tonight.
Yeah, every time I got close to his rear bumper, the car tightened up a little bit, and Brad's an amazing driver, so it was just getting up to him in itself was a feat. So passing him was another story, and I tried, but it was an awesome race for me. I haven't raced a Pro Late in 10 years, so had a horrible Speed Weeks in the 602 mod, and came out here tonight, and it just made up for everything. It was awesome.
Well, that's the key. Just put the fenders back on these things and let them rip, right?
Yeah, that's right. Get to bring it home in one piece, so.
That always helps, too. And to almost beat Brad May, a lot of times finishing second to him is like a win, and be back behind the wheel of a Pro Late for the first time in 10 years. I think you got a lot to celebrate tonight.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, just getting to him was fun. And GMS Race Cars built this cars. It's an amazing machine. So, and Daniel Webster and all the guys that help us, thank you to them. And my wife and daughter for coming. I love them. Thank you.
Matt, do me a favor real quick. Great run tonight. Reach in and grab the 50-50. If you didn't make any fans tonight, I think you will after this. Folks, get your tickets ready. We'll give away some money here in just a minute. But give it up for Matt Montanari, your runner-up to Brad May here tonight. And our winning ticket for the 50-50. If this is you, come meet me at the flag stand here in just a moment. We'll interview third place real quick, too. 829407. 829407 on the 50-50. You can meet me at the flag stand in a moment. But first, we'll go talk to our third place finisher, Tim Sozio. Tim, another pretty good run for you up here on the podium again at New Smyrna. Looks like car just got away from you on the long run a little bit.
Yeah, I thought we were going to have a good enough car to compete with Brad there, and it fired off really good. And after about 15 or 20 laps, I just started getting pretty tight, and then I got in defense mode because Matt was all over me, and it just kind of fell off a little bit hard there.
After some of the Pro Late models races we've had out here lately, it probably feels pretty good to just put this one back on the trailer in one piece.
Yeah, I'm normally the weekly shows are a lot cleaner than Speed Week, so that's why we sat it out, and it was a pretty clean race tonight.
Well, pretty smart move, and we're happy to have you here. Thank you for coming out and supporting the show tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank all the fans. I can't thank my dad, Matt, enough for all the help, Delarian Trucking, Daniel Webster, and everybody else that helps at the track.
And what about this rap job as well? Throwing it back to the Biff. Were you a big fan of his?
Yeah, I mean, I always watched him growing up, and I was number 16, so it seemed like we kind of had to do something.
Well, it's an awesome-looking car and an awesome run. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Tim Sozio, your race winners. Brad May comes over to show the sportsmanship. And we'll head back up to the tower, get ready. We got the Sportsman 25-lap feature coming up next. Sportsman, Bomber A's, 602s, and E-Mods. Still to follow as support for tonight's Catch the Wave Pro Late Model event. We appreciate you being here. Enjoy some great weekly racing action that is going to get us through the rest of the show and will not disappoint. The heat races were any indication tonight. We still got a lot of action to go. Chase Simons, Rodney Haddock on the front row as the pace car comes to safety. And they will come off turn number 4 and look for the double greens. Tyler looks him over, and boy, the outside does not go. Big jump for Chase Simons as Haddock stacks up the outside lane. Donovan pondered, and we're going to try that again. That one was just a little bit too squirrely. So we're going to bunch them up and try it again. The outside groove just did not go. Not the kind of starts we're looking for. All right, we're going to try this again. Chase Simons, the rookie on the inside. Rodney Haddock, the veteran racer, on the outside. Into the start box they come, and this time it's the inside that gets stacked up a little bit. And we are underway. Everybody trying to guess what the other person's going to do, and sometimes leads to those stack ups. And Haddock still not going. They're 3 wide now off to number 2 down the back, and around goes Fitzgerald. Last year's Rookie of the Year with a pirouette down the back, and we still don't have a lap in the books. Fitzgerald grabs the gear, and we will try once more. Matthew Green, with that wild heat race, missed the invert by 1. And I would watch row number 3 tonight. Donovan Ponder, last year's champion. Matthew Green, always fast in that orange car. I think I just saw fireworks off the back straightaway. Something shiny anyways to distract me. Here we go. Green flag, attempt number 3. This one looks better, I guess. Up through the gears, and a little separation this time going into 1. Chase Simons on the bottom. The Mallet gets away with the lead. Matthew Green, big orange, able to get the big jump on the outside. Look at the 44 coming to the front. Oh, look out, Dylan LeBeau. No, that's the 66 of Nichols. He gets sideways and lands in the lap of last year's champion, Donovan Ponder, the heat race winner, runs 10th now. Meanwhile, his biggest adversary, Matthew Green's up to 3rd. Green looking for more. Puts the nose of that 44. Whoa, down on the inside as Haddock gets loose. Sportsman drivers all over the place right now. Turn 4 is treacherous tonight. Green has a hold on the inside. He's up to second, bringing Dylan LeBeau with him now. As Robinson gets loose on the bottom of turn 2. Sportsman drivers on edge in the battle for the lead, beginning to heat up. Donovan Ponder only up 1 spot as Matthew Green is all over the race leader, Chase Simons. Simons knows he's there now, and he's got a big run down the back straightaway. Battle for the lead is on. Look out, turn 3. Simons does not give the 44 much room there. Donovan Ponder trying to claw his way back up through the field. Made it by the 66, now inside the 63 of Alexander. For the lead, here's Green to the inside. Simons has to give him room this time. Matthew Green able to drive so much deeper into the corner, and he's got the lead. What a pass that was. Took Chase Simons, the rookie, to school in turn 3 that time. Green out in front. This could be bad news for the rest of the field. Green went around in the heat, relegated him to 6, but it's only taken 5 laps to come from the outside of the 3rd row to the lead. Donovan Ponder works inside of 151 of Fitzgerald, makes that look easy. Ponder now back to 6th. Single file, 7 laps up on the scoreboard. Matthew Green in control. Best battle on the track will probably be the 8 and 31 as Ponder is reeling in Rodney Haddock now. Haddock's machine big loose in turn 4. Here comes Ponder. Robinson up on the wheel in the 50 car. Here comes Donovan Ponder now. Car number 8 works his way to the inside of the black 31 of Rodney Haddock. Ponder back up into the top 5 now. Remember, Andy Nichols got squirrely out of the middle of the field and landed right in the lap of Donovan Ponder. Ponder had to wheel it off turn number 4. And that's why he is now half a track behind the leader, Matthew Green. Andy Nichols going to pick up a spot here, or at least battle for it with Sean Fitzgerald down the back. Fitzgerald going to hold him off for now. Bryce Robinson in car number 50 starting to get squirrely now. Donovan Ponder trying to charge back up, maybe get himself a podium finish here tonight. Caution is out, caution flag. Caution out here with 11 laps complete. Debris out on the speedway. Debris on the speedway, bringing out the caution here. Somebody saw something. So the buggy is out. Pick it up, and big piece of something laying up in between turns 3 and 4. There you go. Looks like somebody dropped their bib. Charged up, took the lead on lap 5. Now going to fend off the herd here on this restart. Brian, car number 8, Donovan Ponder, very fast race car, just has not had the track position the first half of this race. Here we go, pace car to safety. And green flag is out. Sluggish restarts today, but they pull a gear and charge off into turn number 1. I like the outside here as Simons gets crossed up on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Donovan Ponder, the 8 car. He's got a beat on the 66. He'll roll the high side here as Dylan LeBeau is raced up into second. Simon slams the door off turn 4. Hey, Simon's all over the place. Got to pick a lane there, 66. And Ponder gets loose on the high side. Hang on to it, Donovan. He just cannot get himself a clear lane tonight. He's got traffic everywhere he goes. Other cars, his Achilles heel tonight as Robinson slides it up off the turn. 44, Matthew Green, your leader. Dylan LeBeau taking the 88 car for a good ride tonight. He's in the runner-up spot. Chase Simons, the Mallet, is in third. Now the battle for fourth is Ponder trying to peek it over to the inside. The 50 car real loose on exit. The 50 of Robinson's been loose all night long. 50 car Robinson holds on to the spot for now, and Ponder a little trepidatious in his tire tracks. He's not sure if that back end's going to come all the way around or not. Bottom group opens up again. Ponder trying to make the pass on the bottom here. It's the battle for fourth as they go into turn number 1. Ponder's got position on the bottom of the racetrack. 8 car moving forward, but Robinson grabs the gear and powers up on the outside to hold him at bay for now. Green continues to lead. No challenge there. The best battle on the track is for fourth. Ponder in the 8. George Alexander pulls car 63 as Robinson about had to come around that time in 2. Alexander off the track. Keep your eye on that 50 car. It is an evil handful right now off of these corners. Alexander retires from the contest with 17 laps complete. Donovan Ponder wants to spot up on the podium here as he goes to work on the 66 of Simons. Green, LeBeau, Simons, Ponder, your top 4. Ponder just not quite able to get by the 66. Donovan Ponder in the 8. Able to use that bottom group, but lost the nose there coming off the corner and almost washed up into Simon. And he breaks momentum once again. 5 laps to go for the leader, Matthew Green. Coach block tonight for the 44. And we're lucky that car is still running after a scary moment in the heat race. He almost backed it firewall deep in the wall. Did a great job to get her load up before any damage was done. Dylan LeBeau giving the 88 car a nice run tonight. New sponsorship on board that car this season. A new look for the 88. Donovan Ponder may have used all the good up on his car as he's unable to get by Simons, who throws sparks in his face. A little distraction for Simons. Robinson dirt tracks off the corner. Battle for third with 2 to go. Ponder sends it down into the corner. He's got a run here on the bottom of the track. Simon's going to make him work for it, though. Lap and a half to go for Green. Ponder and Simons locked in a war for third as the white flag comes out. Ponder's loose on the bottom of the racetrack. So we got cars slipping and sliding all over the place. Matthew Green in control. The battle on this one's going to be for third. Final trip down the back straightaway. Ponder bounces off the 66 and falls back in line. Bringing it off of corner number 4. Spin and win tonight for Matthew Green, who gets the first win for the Sportsman this year. Dylan LeBeau is second. Third will go to Simons, and it's Ponder and Robinson. Nichols gets by Haddock at the line. Good little race there for the Sportsman tonight, and it was all in the mirror of Matthew Green's number 44. As Green comes from the middle of the field and makes it look easy tonight. And here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, your winner in the Sportsman tonight, Matthew Green. Hardest part of that race for him was getting out of the car. And Matthew Green coming over, getting some congratulations there from everybody. Well, after the heat race, this has got to feel a lot better, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I hate.
Check 1, 2. Here we go. Come this way. We'll go where the microphone works.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but it seems like doing.
Keep breaking the mic. Do interviews. There we go. All right. Well, let's see if you don't break it this time.
Maybe third time's a charm, but it seems like we have the most dramatic heat races. We always come out on top in the feature. I don't like working out hard after heat race, especially wrecking with a teammate.
He broke it again.
There we go. Never had to fix the car that I was involved in a wreck with, so it was definitely first tonight. I hope he finished good. The car was good. I don't like the heat race when the eight's really tough competition, so when he got started in the pole in heat race, I knew he'd get out there. I just kind of see how close we were. But after that feature, I know I'm pretty good at getting through traffic, so I kind of just hoping he got held up a little bit. I knew he was coming. He put 4 tires on tonight. We put 2, so I just kind of hoping a couple guys behind me held him up long enough, and it worked out in my favor. I didn't want to see that caution, but we ended up all right. So I got to thank my mom, my dad, my brother, Chad Pierce Motorsports. This is it's my car. It's my dad's car, but it's a house car, so we try all our stuff on this. We had a really embarrassing speed weeks trying some new stuff, so we threw that in the garbage and come back this week, try something different, and looks like it worked. So without them, Bruns General Contractors, B&L Custom Cabinetry, and all the fans, I love seeing the fans this stacked. I'm glad y'all stuck it out after the pro race. I hope we put on a good show for you.
Well, I think you did, and I'm afraid to move this thing, so I'm glad you got all your sponsors in. Congratulations again. It broke again. Ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Green. We'll figure out what's going on with this thing. Maybe it'll work a little bit better down this way. It seems to be. Dylan LeBeau, speaking of working well, your car worked out pretty good. Congratulations on a runner-up finish.
Yeah, thank you. Definitely struggled on the initial start. People having a hard time getting going, but we worked on this thing so much. We've had so many things that pretty much everything that could have gone wrong have gone wrong the past 2 years, it's felt like. So this is really big step in the right direction. I broke it. I got to thank Rick Harris a lot. This is his car. He lets me come and play with it. We got some new sponsors on this year: Dakota Matting, Air Max, Hers Chips, the golf club, Daytona Beach Golf Club. Sorry, and my dad, Logan, Bobby, Curtis, everybody that comes out to help. My girlfriend for letting me do this and dealing with it. But yeah, we'll keep working on it and get a little bit better. Maybe get one spot next time.
Well, just like Matthew, Speed Weeks was a nightmare for you guys, and turn it all around when the points start to count, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, we'll keep it digging. And thank you to all the fans for coming out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dylan LeBeau with a solid second-place finish to start the season. And how about this young man down here? His first Sportsman race out here, brand new car. Had to go to school today and got back here in the nick of time, and you end up here on the podium in your first Sportsman race. Congratulations, Chase Simons, on a good run.
Yes, sir. Thank you. This is my first race in the car, so it was a weird feeling running 25 straight laps. But we got used to it and tried to keep it up front, but fell back a little bit. So not too bad for my first time.
In a good battle with last year's champion, you held out Donovan Ponder, so that's got to give you a lot of confidence going into this long season.
Yeah, I didn't know who it was. I was just trying to drive out the windshield, so. But I'd like to thank all my sponsors, especially Mike Williams Race Cars, letting me drive this car, and Ace Enterprises, American Auto, Hoover's Welding and Fabrication, Gene Kelly Roofing, McMillan Creek Ranch, DeBerry Paint Body, SM Eagle Steel, and Southeast Dewatering, and whoever else helps with the car, and Dave Sand and Gravel.
Well, this car's a little easier to read. You got it nice and printed on the side, so you're getting better at this, and congratulations on a good way to start your Sportsman season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Mallet, Chase Simons with a third-place finish here tonight. We'll let the photos wrap up down here with Jim Jones, and I'll go I'm going to do the turn it off and turn it on thing and see if that resets the microphone for the next victory lane. Back up side. Let's see if it works over here. There we go. It just doesn't like that spot for whatever reason. So We'll do some investigating. We'll get ready for the Bomber A 20-lap feature. That is coming up next. All right, they want a nice, clean start here for the Bomber A's. All right, Eddie Evans Sr. in the 3, the 99 Tara Wagenbaugh rookie driver, little tiptoe up there for the tap dance car. Start looking good. We'll see if they give him green. They've got double green, and we're underway. Bomber A, 20 lapper. We'll be watching the race with one eye and the scoring with the other. Look at Tara going the outside. The rookie sees the lead and almost left the ballpark there, though. Oh, they are stacked up from second on back. DeVilla's car dropping anchor and taking the champion Aaron Foy with him. Look at this. It's Talladega in turns 3 and 4. Everybody all under a blanket as they come to lap number 1. Eddie Evans your leader. 25-second first lap. No issues with the breakout. Oh, Eddie Evans. Oh, look out, Tara. Eddie broke. Tara's throwing up dust, and we're still green. New leader Mike Austin in the 5. Wow. Tara's getting a welcome to the Bomber A division here on her second race. My heart. Whoa, Tara, there's a wall there. She found it. No breakout so far. All's good. All's good through the field. Eddie Evans brings the 3 machine to pit road. Boy, that team has had all the problems today. And up front, it's Mike Austin. Dustin Higdon has now found himself second. Vincent Cortez, the blue car, in third. Aaron Foy and Tara Wagenbaugh hanging on to the top 5. Checking times of the line. Oh, it's picking up. Dustin Higdon, a 24.064. But hey, it's a 24, so it's all good. Whoa, Tara! Tearing the wall down in turn 2. Look out, 99. All right, that time she hit it a little bit too hard. Yellow flag is out. Yellow flag is out for the rookie. Tara Wagenbauer letting it all hang out and ran out of racetrack. We paved a lot of this place for these drivers to race, and unfortunately it does run out. DeVilla to the pits in the 2. Good news on the back straightaway. Thumbs up from the driver back there. As Stephen DeVilla brings the 2 car to the pits, we will go tow the 99 off the wall. It'll be a few weeks before the Bombers are back at it, so they will have plenty of time to get these cars put back together.
Scott, what is it? Oil. Wrecker, when you go get that car, just take it straight down the chute into the pit.
Might be a little bit of oil down on the racetrack. Luckily, that car was up pretty high. It should be able to work out of the groove here pretty quickly. So we'll see the modifieds a little bit later on in the season. But next week, we're going to have a special $10 fan appreciation night featuring the Ashley Holmes Jacks Pro Trucks, Super Stocks, the Stephen Smith Incorporated Bomber Bees, and the Florida Southern Ground Pounders. Nice little 4-card presentation for you. That will be full of action. Again, special $10 fan appreciation pricing. And then the other bit of news, the April Family Fun Night, we're going to push that back a week to April the 11th so everybody can enjoy their Easter weekend with friends and family. So I'm sure we're going to have plenty of people traveling or making other plans. So Family Fun Night for April will now be April the 11th. The same card will just be pushed a week back. So after next week, we'll be off for a couple of weeks and then back at it. So everybody will have a little bit of time to regroup, and after the first couple of races of the season, get them built back up and ready to go on April the 11th. The cream already starting to rise to the top. Mike Austin, Dustin Higdon, Vincent Cortez, Aaron Foy, and Eddie Evans Jr., the unofficial top 5 here as they run. Again, watching the stopwatch here, watching the pack. If anybody breaks out, we'll let you know. Mike Austin, your leader, in car number 5 on the outside there. Dustin Higdon in the 14, driving for Brandon Monroe here this weekend. Here they come off to number 4, green Flag is out. Dustin Higdon away with the lead, and here comes Aaron Foy, the champion from a year ago, right up to his quarter panel now. Those two were locked in a season-long championship battle that came down to the last race of the year, and here they are side by side again. Foy at the line takes the lead. Nobody close to breaking out that time. The two cars sounding a little bit wounded as it comes down the front stretch. A lot of attrition, but the remaining 7 all in a wad down the back straightaway. Picking up the dust on the back from all that speedy dry. 2 by 2 by 2. Here they come off the 4th corner. Speeds at the line, picking up. And they've got a lot of room to spare at this point. No issues with the breakout. Aaron Foy, that yellow car with that black bumper out in front. Dustin Higdon, white and pink car on the bottom of the track. And Motley just lap with Aaron Foy. Leads again, 24.5. That's the lead pace right now. The leaders kind of like Daytona right now. They're just up at the front, pacing the field at their own pace. Stephen Brown, last week's winners, worked up into the top 4. Eddie Evans has enough of this playing around. Let's go 3 wide off turn number 4. Picking up the pace a little bit that lap at 24.3 for Aaron Foy, the yellow car leader. Eddie Evans, the red 11, who had that tire issue in the heat race, did not have a good turn number 2, and now it's a 3-car breakaway at the front. Higdon works back down to the bottom. Foy on the outside. Cortez in the blue car runs in 3rd. He's on the high side as well. 24.2. Higdon ran a 24.1. Times are picking up here as they get this track back into a better racing condition after knocking all the speedy dry off. Brown way down to the bottom. He works his way to the inside of Evans. Whoa, they're going to run out of racetrack down there. Brown, hang on to it. Last week's winner with a little detour off the front of the racetrack there and able to hang on to it. Now we'll have to go right back to work on the back of the pack once again. 9 laps complete. Dustin Higdon driving for Brandon Monroe in the 14. He leads it. In second, it's Aaron Foy. Well, now Foy goes back to the front. Eddie Evans Jr. just ran the fastest lap of the race at 24.029. He's in 4th. He can go faster if he's able to until he gets to the top 3. Foy, Higdon, and Cortez, the top 3, and here comes the Eagle, Eddie Evans Jr. Vincent Cortez with his fastest lap of the race, but a 24.2. These guys have a couple of tenths in the bank here if they want to push the issue. They're starting to separate from the rest of the field. Vickery's lost touch with the leaders, as has Mike Austin. The 88 is Stephen Brown trying to get back in the mix here. He's up to 5th as he goes around Mike Austin's 5 car. Eight laps to go. It's a dogfight up at the front. Stephen Brown was one of the fastest cars out there. He's likely going to be able to catch the leaders here in a lap or 2. We'll see what happens at that point. 7, 14, 23, watching the time. A 24.1 that time for Dustin Higdon. Stephen Brown just ran a 23.778, but he's okay. Only the top 3 worry about the breakout. So far, we haven't had one all day. The business is starting to pick up. That pay window starting to slowly work its way open here. And we're about to have a 5-car battle for the win, I believe. 6 to go. A 24.160 for Aaron Foy. Eddie Evans Jr. just ran a 23.998, but he was 4th, so he's okay. Top 5 closing in on each other. It's going to be a 5-man race with 5 laps to go. At the line this time, watching the stopwatch there, 24:038 for Dustin Higdon. Starting to force the issue here at the front. The pace is picking up. It's go time. Foy and Higdon duking it out, back and forth. Foy broke out on the final lap a week ago. Higdon didn't race. They might push each other over the edge at this time. Oh yeah, it's picking up a 24:011 for Vincent Cortez that time by. They were all in the 24:0s that time. And 3 wide now for third. Here's Brown up into the mix. Evans in the middle. Cortez, the blue car on the high side. Oh boy, Cortez loses some spots. Evans with a big charge up to third. Meanwhile, the leaders continue to pace the pack. 24:067, everybody's good. 24:0s again for the leaders. Here comes Junior now in the 11. Eddie Evans Jr. looking like the old Bill Elliott number 11 car out there. Looking like Bill Elliott, coming from the back of the field. Look at this move. Evans closing in on the leaders. Cortez going to cross him over. 2 to go this time by. What a battle. All right, they slowed the pace down that lap. Cortez ran a 23.9, but he was 4th, so he's okay. Top 2 have broken away. It might be between the 7 and 14 here when it all comes down to it. Higdon on the bottom, Foy on the high side. Evans now struggling on the high side of the racetrack. He drops back to 5th. White flag is out, 1 to go. Oh man, oh, Vincent Cortez. We got our first speeder. 23, Vincent Cortez, speeding. Side by side for the win. Evans bumps Brown and around goes the 88. Here they come. Will we get the checkers? At the line, it's Foy. And he'll keep it, I believe. Stephen Brown, last week's winner, gets a dump job there from the 11 of Eddie Evans. And Stephen Brown spins out on the final lap and will lose all of those positions. And checking the times at the line, Aaron Foy with a 24:060 is going to hang on and get the win here tonight. Last year's champion. Per scoring, car number 5, Mike Austin will claim the 3rd position here. Well, we'll work our way down trackside and grab a word with our winner. Stephen Brown just had a word with Eddie Evans Jr. there for that bump and run there that went awry. Aaron Foy, your race winner at car 7. It's been a little bit testy today. We'll bring you over this way where it seems to work a little bit better. Well, sir, after last week breaking out, coming to the checkers, this feels a lot better when you end up in victory lane and get to keep it, huh?
It does. Yeah, the driver screwed up last week big time, but we didn't tonight.
Must have been a lot of fun having 3 or 4 guys all over your back bumper running side by side with Dustin Higdon and then racing the clock, too. That's got to be a lot to think about.
It is. Me and Dustin, we never touched. We ran clean. He got ahead of me a little bit, and I was like, man, I got to squeeze a little more in there, and a couple of those laps were really close.
Well, last year winning the track championship, having to battle Dustin Higdon each and every weekend, you know he's going to be a tough competitor, but it probably always feels good when you can beat one of the best.
Yeah, you can't complain. Tonight we're 1 spot better.
You have anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, my wife, my kids, my uncle, the whole gang, my dad, Charlie, can't never forget Charlie, Tom with Speedway Video, Racing with Ryan podcast. I think that'll cover it tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a nice round of applause for Aaron Foy, your race winner in car number 7. We'll stop on over here and grab a word with our runner-up, Dustin Higdon. So Brandon goes on a cruise, and you get to drive one of the coolest looking cars here. And side by side with Aaron, you heard his thoughts. What are your thoughts on that battle?
I mean, racing with Aaron, he's the man with the micron that knows how to read these things. And if you're going to race side by side with anybody, it's Aaron that you want to race against. Brandon Moreau is in Mexico for 10 days, and he's getting all kinds of drama from the heat race, so I feel bad for him. But I got to thank him for letting me use his car, his trailer, and all his equipment.
Well, he can probably see his Facebook lighting up. Like, can you believe what Brandon did? And he's like, I'm in Mexico. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he ain't even here, but I don't know how many zeros that me and Aaron turned, but it kept popping up on my screen, so I know it was pretty close.
You guys were pushing the edge. It was like 24-5, then it was like 24-3, and then 0-0-0, and none of you stepped over the line and put on a good show for us.
Yeah, since day one, I said Aaron's my breakout tool, and still to this day, it works out. If you can get next to him and ride there, a 50-50 chance of winning.
Do you have anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank Brandon Monroe. I got to thank Holly and Frank with Bougie Motorsports, Team 29, Rick Gaither, Spears, B, everyone that helps out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dustin, runner-up here tonight. Good run in car number 14. And we'll head on down. Shout out to as Cortez having a good run tonight, broke out with 2 to go. So won't get to stay in third, but this gentleman will after picking up a heat race win. Mike Austin in the 5. Junior got penalized for spinning the 88 out on the last lap. So Mike Austin is third.
I'm sorry.
I know it's kind of a crazy race, and they had to pull you back out of the pits, but they say you're third.
Yeah, I had a great start, and then when that yellow came out, I just I wasn't good on the restarts. And, but the car, I've been driving the Cavalier and decided to take off the Neon and see what it can do because that's what I started with. And it was a good choice tonight. A very solid car. I'm very happy.
How tough is it to bounce back and forth between 2 cars that seems like you've got both of them dialed in? How do you pick?
Well, the Neon is definitely dialed in for this track. It handles like a go-kart compared to the Cavalier. We did a lot of work. Aaron helped me a lot with trying to get the Cavalier to turn, and it helped a lot. But this car is just so much better here. It handles like a go-kart in the corners. I be able to keep my speed coming out of the corners.
Well, congratulations on a great night with the heat race win and now a podium finish to go home with. Do you have anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my family and my wife. My family from New Hampshire and South Carolina came today, so it worked out great. I'd like to thank all my brother. Thank all.
Of course, they would do that right in the middle of your, sponsor plug. But
yeah, I'd like to thank all my sponsors: DRT Services, Steve-O's Pizza, 321 Landscape and Lighting, Mr. Delicious, and my brother does a lot. He always bringing us in, paying entry fees, always cooking for us, taking care of us. And Aaron, Foy, and Friddle always helping us out when we need it.
Mike, congratulations on a great run. Mike Austin brings it home in third place here today. The fans came on the right day. So we'll head up trackside, get ready for our next event. 602 Modified. It's going to go 25 laps here in just a moment. Pace car begins to peel away. Carter Blue in the 18. Last year's champion Hank Baker Jr. on his outside. And then the top 2 in the heat race in row number 2. Green flag is out. This one is underway. 88 John Hatton does not come up to speed on the start. We'll keep our eyes on him. Hopefully he can get it off the track. Oh, it's going now. He was doing the ground pounder start. All right. At the lead, it's the 2 Hank Baker Jr. away with the top spot. But here comes Chris Hatton Jr. The juniors run 1-2. For the lead, dropping down the inside. What a move for Chris Hatton Jr. in the 0-9. Whoa, and Hank Baker Jr. is off the pace. Couple of cars get tangled together. Carter Blue, the pole sitter, gets caught up in that. Looks like everybody's still running under their own power. The 2 with a moment off of turn 4, and we're lucky we didn't wad up the rest of the pack there. Hey, so far so good for the 51. He's holding together in the 4th spot. Here's Chris Hatton Jr. the leader. His father, Chris Hatton Sr., just like the heat race, right there into the 2nd spot. Things begin to settle down here. 4 laps into this one. Generac 09. Chris Hatton Jr. leader. The Purple People leader. Chris Hatton Sr. in 2nd. There's the Paramount Medical Building number 2 car. Hank Baker Jr. last year's champion trying to recover from the hiccup in turn 4 a couple laps ago. One Jason Hansen now up in the 4th position. Satin Senior's throwing sparks. He's way up the racetrack. Here comes Hank Baker Jr. now for runner-up spot. Battle is on for the second spot on the tire tracks of the 09. Hank Baker Jr. in the 2 takes over the runner-up spot. 7 laps up on the scoreboard. It is all Chris Hatton Jr.'s 09 car. Hank Baker, though, going to try to reel him in over the second half of this one. John Hatton's recovered from the sluggish start. He wants the 5th spot away from the 18 of Carter Blue. The 06 continues to bottom out in the corners after that car's throwing sparks. Air pressures might be a little too low. Setup might be too low. The battle is for 5th in turn 1. John Hatton works the bottom of the racetrack on Carter Blue's number 18. Blue going to give way there and fall back to 6th. You may have that car a little out of whack after the contact in turn 4 about 10 laps ago. Hank Baker in the 2 trying to make something happen here. Top 3 in a class of their own right now. John Hatton's 88 with a big move through turns 3 and 4. He wants the spot away from Hanson's 51. Hatton, the silver car on the bottom, is going to take that spot away. If that car would have gotten going at the start, he might be up there with those other guys battling for the podium. Could still get it yet, but Hank Baker Jr. in the black number 2 car. No decals on the left side, but it does not matter because that car is flying right now. Halfway home with 13 laps complete. Hatton Jr. the 09 car showing the way. Hank Baker Jr. about 4 car lengths behind, but we've seen over the years in this particular class, no lead is safe out here. Hank Baker Jr. is closing, folks. A little tight off the corner that time. Might have dropped the car length that one. Now the 09, the 2, the 06. Trying to stay ahead of the 88 of John Hatton. Jace Hanson trying to hold on to the top 5. One car is fading. Here comes Carter Blue's 18. 15 laps in the books. Under 10 laps to go for Christopher Hatton Jr. in the 09. Whoa, the 51 got loose right in front of Carter Blue, had to pedal it there. 51 is evil right now, but he hangs on to it. Lead starting to open back up here for Chris Hatton Jr. in the 09. Yes, that on the racetrack is for 5th. Carter Blue's 18 looks to the bottom here on Hanson. Blue and white 51 hangs on the top spot. 17 laps on the scoreboard. Blue looking low on Hanson out on the back straightaway. Hank Baker hooking the bottom of the racetrack. Good corner that time. He's not going to let Chris Hatton Jr. win this one easily. 6 to go when they come back around. Baker hooking the bottom of the corners, trying to make up some ground here. Time starting to run out, and that lead is pretty stable. 20 laps complete this time, just 5 laps to go for the 602. Their race is now up to 25 laps, up from 20 a year ago. lap. The battle in this one is for the 4th spot. The 5th spot, check that. Carter Blue's yellow car working the bottom. Hanson's white and blue car working the high side. Can't get the power down. Oh, and around goes Hank Baker Jr. all on his own. Look out. Hank Baker Jr. trying to chase down Chris Hatton Jr. Goes for a spin. Last year's champion. May bleed some points at the end of this one. We'll see if the 51 is listening or not. Ran right over the choose box, so he goes to the back of the field, and I think he's trying to get there. If Hank Baker will get there. Be a funky looking restart, but here they come. Green flag is out. And look at Senior. John jumped down to the inside of Junior. Easy for me to say. Now the 88, John Hatton, it looked like he was out of it. Now he's got a shot to win this thing. Senior drops down to the bottom. The purple people eater wants the lead. And here's John Hatton, the silver 88. Boy, the race is on to the front for the 602. They got 3 to go. The Interact car goes back to the front with Chris Hatton Jr. Now the battle's going to be for second. Whoa, they got a little bit choked up coming off the corner. 2 laps to go this time. It'll be an all Hatton podium here. Chris Hatton Jr., Chris Hatton Sr., and John Hatton in the 88. One lap to go for Christopher Hatton Jr. as he tries to hold off his father here. Junior a little bit up the racetrack in turn 1. We'll see if Chris Hatton Sr. can make something happen here. Father versus son for the checkered flag. Chris Hatton Jr. up the racetrack, opens the door, but slams it off to number 4. And Chris Hatton Jr. will win it. Senior is second. John Hatton is third. Fourth, Frank Baker Jr. Christopher Hatton Jr. getting ready to climb out. It's like a dead zone right here, Jim. Ladies and gentlemen, here's your winner, Christopher Hatton Jr. We'll bring him over to this spot because it seems to like to work over here today. Christopher, going to make you earn your victory lane speech today. Great run for you today. It looks like you had the field covered, and then here comes Hank Baker Jr., and he spins out, and then here comes Dad. And, boy, you and Dad have been duking it out the last couple of weeks, but congratulations on another big win.
Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, I think he's trying to get my bumper, but we put a lot of work in these cars, so they're getting there. They're really fast. Hank's fast. He was catching me. We're kind of like cat and mouse. I kept finding a line. He'd find a line, but it sucks he spun. But next couple weeks, he'll be right up there, and all the rest of the guys.
Well, that's what's fun about these cars. You can search around with them. You know, the late models, some of the other cars, they got to run a particular line. You guys can search, and it kind of makes that yo-yo thing, and it must be pretty fun behind the wheel.
There's nothing like it. I mean, this is the most fun thing to drive. And, yeah, you can put it high, low, or a little higher than you want, and you got like a tenth or two difference, and you can race anybody.
Well, it was a good showing from you guys tonight. Do you have anybody you want to thank?
Generac, my dad, Jason, Scoot, cousins, family, Tom, Kurt, everybody helps, so it's a family thing, so we're having fun.
I'd say so. It's an all-Hatton podium. I think that's the first time this has happened.
Yeah, that might be the first time. That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
We'll let you go celebrate. Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Hatton Jr., your race winner here tonight. They're going to wheel the purple people eater right up to it, get a little family photo. Well, Senior, you almost had him there coming to the checkers, but nonetheless a good run for you this evening.
Yeah, we did Speed Week and bent the frame really bad, so they tweaked it as best they could. And that's the best we can do. But I'm sorry for Hank because he deserved second. His car was running real good. And even Carter Blue had a really good run.
Well, you've been having some pretty good runs, even with a beat-up old race car. I remember when you first brought this beautiful thing out, it was a slog. It was a struggle for you, but I feel like I've been talking to you up here a lot lately, so you guys got it going in the right direction.
It's seat time. You just got to practice a little bit, and you get a little better.
Well, it looks good, and you're driving it good. Do you have anybody you want to thank?
Just Christopher. He really does most all the work on this. It's a big team effort, but Christopher does the most work.
Well, no wonder you couldn't beat him. He's not going to let you beat him, right?
Right.
All right, go over there and get a picture with him. Christopher Hatton Sr., your runner-up here today in the 06. And how about this guy? Nice recovery for John Hatton in the 88. John, it looked like at the start of this thing, your race was out the window, car wouldn't go, and then all of a sudden you found a gear, caution came out, and you finished on the podium, making it all hat in top 3.
Yeah, right now we're currently dealing with a fuel issue. So every time I get on the throttle, it just bogs down. Yeah, I'm just happy to be on the podium. I do want to thank Hunter Concrete for sponsoring me this year. Of course, my spotter Charlie, my cousin Chris, we all put a lot of work into this car.
Well, I'm glad things turned around there with all the fuel issues aside, because it looked like this car was a rocket ship. Do you think if you had track position, you might have had something for those guys in front of you?
Hopefully.
I mean, that's all you can say, right? You hope for the best, put the pedal down, and hope she goes. Hopefully you'll get that fuel issue cleared up, and we'll be talking to you up in Victor Lane next time.
Absolutely, and I also want to thank my wife out there. She was a little upset last time I didn't thank her for coming.
Well, good. You won't have to sleep on the couch tonight.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, John Hatton brings it home in third, Christopher Hatton Sr. second, and Chris Hatton Jr., your race winner. We got one race left to go. We'll head up back to the tower here, get ready to call the EMOD race. They're getting ready for 25 laps up next. Here they come. Maybe for the final time tonight, we'll see green. Dylan Sale, Ken Copley, sophomore versus veteran on the front row. Here they come. Green, flag is out for the EMODs, and we're underway. Good looking start as they head down into turn number 1. Oh, and as I say that, around goes Ken Copley in front of the field. Max Wheeler threads the needle, and Ken Copley gets a piece of the wall. Copley's car starting to roll. We'll see how bad the damage is. Hopefully just cosmetic. .45, Michael Say to the pits. It was going to be a complete restart minus those that pit, and the 45 will go to the rear.
45 is top side.
Ken Copley's cars come to a rest in the bottom of turn 1 and 2. Tough break for the outside pole sitter, Ken Copley. So with Ken Copley having a pit here, oh yeah, some significant damage. Blew the rear window out of that one. Yeah, he crunched it up pretty good, unfortunately. Tough break for the 7. Got new skins on that thing, and we'll have more work to do. With him going to the pits, that'll move the outside row up. Max Wheeler will start on the outside front row now, and Kurt Robinson's going to go from 8th on the start up to 4th because Michael Say also pitted. So the outside row going to look a little bit different this time for this attempt to get this one going. 0 laps complete. Already 1 car out of it. Working on getting the restart posted here. Should be Dylan Sale and Max Wheeler, your new front row for this attempt to get this one underway. Looking at the back end of the 10 car, Carson May, what's happened to the rear end of that car? There's some damage on the left rear of the 10. Something amiss on the rear of the 10 car. Maybe got run over a little bit there on that dust up with Ken Copley, but I just noticed it as it came by. That car all torn up in the rear. It may not handle as well as he wants it to, but well, I thought for sure that one was not going to see the green flag, and here he comes. All right, so this attempt at the restart might look a little bit funky, but again, we're not going to cross over lanes. We never cross over. It's a complete restart, so the drivers must hold their original lanes. If they went to the pits, they go to the back. They'll put them in the back. They don't really matter. They've given up their initial starting position. And now the 16, then the 45 and 7. Those cars came to the pits, so they'll go to the back. It all makes sense to me. We'll just see if we can get it in order.
I give you your lineup. Get it out. Let's roll. Come along the way.
The 45 goes right back to his pit stall. We are going to go back to green. Here we go. Green flag is out. Oh, the 63 Dale Howard doesn't go on the start. Watch the 10 here of Carson May. How's that car going to handle? So far, so good. A little bit edgy off the corner. And for the lead, it's Max Wheeler in the 98. Wheeler to the front. Max Wheeler going to come around, and he will lead lap number 1. And here comes the Carson May number 10 machine, all torn up on the rear. Well, you can see it off the corner. That's where the handling's coming into play. That spoiler all out of the air. Doesn't have the support he needs. He's going to be loose on exit. Max Wheeler continues to lead. May's car still very fast, but really going to be tough to wheel it off the corners. You can see as he comes off, the rear end still wants to steer with him. He's got no support, no downforce on the rear from the spoiler being out of whack. Dylan Sale hanging on to third, then it's Simons in the 14. 3 laps complete for Max Wheeler. Here's the battle for third. Simons in the 14, trying to make something happen here. Simons in the 14, trying to take third away from Dylan Sales. Max Wheeler continues to lead with 4.5 laps complete. Carson May in the 10 completely having to change how he's driving that car right now with the damage on the rear that I'm assuming happened in that first lap dust-up. Somebody must have ran over the back of him. We'll watch that one back on Speedway video tomorrow and figure it out. Or Carson can tell us if he can hang on to a podium spot. Coming up on Dale Howard's wounded number 63. That car way off the pace. That was a championship contending car a season ago. Howard keeps it down on the bottom groove, still side by side. Great battle for third. Dylan Sale on the high side in the 12. Dalton Simons in the 14 on the bottom. They come up on the slow car, and Simons has nowhere to go. Slow groove is on the bottom, and Dylan Sale did not give any more room to get around them, using the lap car as a pick. Max Wheeler, 98, your leaders. They come to lap 8. Wheeler beginning to pull away from the ill-handling number 10 of Carson May. Back in third is Dylan Sale, the Tomahawk. Dalton Simons having to reel him back in now. And rounding up the top 5, how about Bruce Packer in the 15? Baby Blue number 15 hanging on to fifth. Did not want to run well in the heat, but so far so good here in the feature. Jonathan Menning up to 6th after starting in the rear. Dale Howard's car might be down a cylinder or 2. Battle for third, heats back up. Simons back to the bottom of the racetrack against last year's rookie year. You might have him here. Simons in the 14 up to third. 10 laps complete. It's Max Wheeler at the front. Max Wheeler spent last year running the Super Stock, finished third in points. Moved up to the EMOS, and right now has a big lead on the field. No trouble around is Ken Copley. Yellow flag is out. Copley, the 7, goes around, and there goes the big lead for Max Wheeler. Copley's ill-handling number 7 comes around with him. So 11 laps complete, but we'll have a restart here. May down on the bottom of the racetrack. And row number 2 on the inside, Dylan Sales 12 car, and the 14, Dalton Simons on the outside. Row 3, Bruce Packer on the 15, then Jonathan Menninga's 16. 17 to the rear of the field, Ken Copley in the 7. Supposed to move up one, but here we go. Boy, they almost touched wheels. And Max Wheeler gets the jump in turn 1. Wheeler back out in front. Carson May just looks like he didn't have confidence in the way that car would handle going down on the bottom of the racetrack in turn 1. And here comes the 14, Dalton Simons. Put his name in the hat now as Wheeler tries to stretch out the lead. 12 laps complete. Carson May in the 10, a very fast race car, but that damage on the rear is definitely affecting the handle. This time by, it's halfway home, halfway for Wheeler. Oh, Ken Copley works to the inside of Jonathan Menninga. Menninga did not get a good restart, and he's fallen off a little bit. Battle for 6 between the 7 and the 16 off turn number 2. That's the best battle on the track. Top 5 are single file for the moment. Whoa, Carson May throwing it sideways off the corner. Almost ran out of racetrack that time. The handling not there for Carson May, and now he's way upstairs, going to get loose, and here's Simons through to second. Dalton Simon, the 14 car, up to second. On lap 14, caution is out. One car has gone around on the back straightaway. Blue car of Packer has gone around. I didn't see it, but he's disappeared hard into the inside wall. And he's disappeared right behind that hauler that is blocking my view on the back straightaway. Caution is out on lap 14. Driver is okay. That's the word from the back straightaway, but the wrecker is needed for Bruce Packard with 14 laps complete. Plays into the hand of how this restart's going to wind up. So we have 11 laps to go, 6.5 miles around. Again, Wheeler, your leader on the outside groove. May down on his inside with the wounded race car. Here they come to the restart. Wheeler's on the loud pedal, and here we go. Carson May's car, no grip on the rear end. Not even really able to contend down there as Wheeler gets away with the lead once again. Simons almost had the back end come around with him in car 14. May able to hang on to the second spot. Wheeler out by 3-4, making 5 car lengths off the 4th corner. Another lapping look. No trouble around goes Ken Copley. Caution is out immediately. And we'll have another restart. Copley's car not handling well either with the damage on the rear end. I'm impressed that window's held together. Copley fires up the orange number 7 car. All right, folks, here we go, getting ready for the restart. Max Wheeler 10 laps away. Let's see what's going to happen here as they are bunched up into the start zone this time. Wheeler touches wheels with Carson May. They continue to bounce off each other. And Carson May trying to get out in front. Wheeler goes up the track. Here comes Simons in the 14. New leader, it's May. Wheeler, though, wants it right back. Wheeler down to the bottom, skates up the racetrack. Oh, boy, here they come at the line. It's May, the leader. Oh, and Max shoots right back down to the bottom. Max pushing up the racetrack. Simons is right there in the 14, looking to strike as May hangs onto the lead. May cannot open the door. Wheeler will be right there to fill the gap. Oh, Carson May bounces off the wall. They're all on top of each other going into the first corner. Wheeler back to the lead in turn 1. Here comes Simons trying to get the pedal down on the 14. Max Wheeler trying to take a deep breath here. Settle back into rhythm there. May's car not handling well. Bounced it off the wall last time by. You'll see the damage now on the rear, or the right rear tire. Side by side for second. May's car is good until right here when the banking drops out and the car breaks loose. He is locked side by side with Dalton Simons. Meanwhile, Max Wheeler's driving away, and he says, please stay green with 6 to go. At the line for Wheeler. 6 to go. Simons is clear. May going to try the crossover move here off turn number 2. We'll get to the back bumper and bounce right off of him there. Well, now Simons is clear to second. It'll be 5 laps to go. Carson May continues to dance it up off the corner. And what a rebound for Ken Copley. In the wall hard on lap number 1. He's up to 5th. Laps winding down here. It'll be just 4 laps remaining. Dylan Sale wants to spot up on the podium. He's closing in on the wounded Carson May number 10. Sale Howard will be low on the back straightaway. Battle for 3rd on the back. Here's Sale, the critter, looking low on May's number 10 car. And Sale may be the pick this time if they get back in line. 3 to go for Max Wheeler. With a very comfortable lead on Dalton Simons, but he's got to hit his marks. That 14 car is very fast. This time by, it's 2 to go for Max Wheeler, looking for his first career New Smyrna Speedway win. Wheeler, that beautiful number 98 car, in control. Just wants him to make it back around. Another lap and a half here. Wheeler, the rookie, in his first points-paying E-Mod race, looking to go to victory lane. He is 1 lap from victory. Can he make it back to the line? He just has to make it one final set of corners as he goes down the back straightaway. No pressure from behind. Max Wheeler in car number 98 comes off corner number 4. Max Wheeler, for the first time here in New Smyrna Speedway, is a winner. Wheeler wins it. Simons is second, and Carson May hangs on for 3rd over Dylan Sale and Ken Copley, who's going to hold off Curtis Robinson here for the 5th spot. What a race and what a story for young Max Wheeler. Ladies and gentlemen, here he comes out of the car. Let's hear it for Max Wheeler, his first career win. Finally, a winner here on the big track. He's got about 100 wins on the little track down there in 1 and 2. And now he's won on the big track as he gets some congratulations there from the crew. Max, what a performance from you tonight. You got out in front, looked like you had the car to beat in all those restarts, and it almost got away, but you got back up on the wheel, got back out in front. Congratulations on your first win.
I don't even know what to say right now. I keep saying to myself, one day I'll win, because in Superstock, the most got second. But now that I'm in Winner's Circle, I feel amazing. I would like to thank my sponsors, Wheelway Trailer Sales and Find a Way in Home Care.
Getting a little choked up here, huh?
Yeah, sorry. But I would also like to give a huge thanks to my grandpa. He's the whole reason this could happen, that we're in Winner's Circle. I love him so much. I would also like to thank all my friends, family, fans, everybody who came out to watch me win today.
Well, this modified car, this is your family's bread and butter here. You guys have been racing modifieds as a family for a long, long time. You fought tooth and nail with the Superstock, but it's got to feel special to get your first win out here in one of these modifieds.
Oh, it definitely does. This is probably the greatest achievement I've had in my career so far.
Well, hey, you go enjoy the victory. Look at all these people down here to support you. They were cheering and going wild. We could hear them up in the tower. It was almost more fun listening to them than watching the race. But you are a winner here. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Max Wheeler, your race winner in the E-Mods here today. Grab a word now with our runner-up here, Dalton Simons. Looks like your car went through a bit of a war. It is a wild one out there. I feel like if you had track position and could have restarted with Max, you probably would have given him a run for the money. But runner-up for you tonight, not a bad finish.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't a bad finish. We had a couple problems with the engine overheating, so we were definitely down on power for that reason. But I'd like to apologize for the 7 car. I didn't expect him to go to the bottom on the first lap. Really didn't mean to run him over. That's not how I run. But yeah, after we gathered back together, we just tried to hold on to it and see how good we could do. Ended up with second. So,
well, the good news is Ken's one of the nicest guys in the field. He still finished 5th, and I didn't think that car was even going to come back out, but he did. So yeah, that's part of racing sometimes. People are all going for the same piece of real estate, and eventually you're going to bump into somebody. But good run for you, and got here late and ended up with a good day here at the end of everything. Do you have anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I got to thank Ace Enterprises, American Auto, SM Eagle Steel, McMillan Creek Ranch, DeBerry Paint and Body, Southeast Dewatering, Hoover Welding and Fabrication. Got to thank my brothers, my dad, my uncles, everybody else that comes to the shop, helps put this thing together every week and brings it out here with us.
We'll get to work on that, on getting the engine cool, and I think you'll be in Victory Lane before too long.
Thank you, Brian.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dalton Simons brings us home with a solid second-place run here today. And how about this driver hanging on for third, literally? Carson May in the 10. Carson, first of all, congratulations on a third-place finish. I think you had a race-capable winning car, but the damage definitely made your car not handle well. First of all, I didn't even see what happened. Was that the first lap incident there? Did you get run over?
To be honest, I have no clue. I didn't see what happened either. My parents said it wasn't that bad, and I get out of the car, and it looks pretty bad.
It was pretty bad, and it looked like it made your car very, very loose.
Yeah, I was pretty loose out there. I don't know if because of... to be honest, I think it's because of the spoiler damage, because I've never driven like that before. But it was extremely slick, and I know the track was decent today, so I'm pretty sure it's a spoiler damage.
Yeah, with that thing hanging down on the left side, you come off the corner, the back end wants to keep turning, but you're able to drive it, bounce it off the wall at one point, almost took the lead away, and almost won the thing regardless. So heck of a drive for you today. Nothing to be disappointed about, but that's the break sometimes.
Yeah, I'm really stoked to be out here in third place. My goal this year is to be all third-place finishes, and I had a first for the first race of the year and 2 thirds after that, so I'm really stoked.
So you want all podiums all year long?
That's the goal.
Well, so far, check mark in all the boxes, and another good run for you tonight. Do you have anybody you want to thank?
100%. I want to thank my mom for spotting for me, my dad for spending countless hours in the garage working on the car. I'd like to thank just all my friends for coming out, my friend Owen, Garrett, Paige, and just every single person that helped work on the car.
Carson, good run for you. It was really fun to watch you wheel that car. Look like you were on dirt.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty crazy. It was actually a lot of fun.
Carson May brings it home with a solid third-place run with a wounded race car tonight. And that will wrap up a wild night of racing here at the new Smyrna Speedway. Appreciate all you folks sticking around to the very end. Max Wheeler gets his first win, and we'll wrap it all up and do it all again here next week. Fan Appreciation Night next week with the Ashley Holmes Jacks Pro Trucks, plus the Super Stocks, the Ground Pounders, and the Stephen Smith Incorporated Bomber Bees. We will see you then. Please get home safe. We'll see you at the next one. Take care, everyone.